Hailey Van Lith, TCU star. I think the 11th pick in the WNBA Draft. She got drafted by the Chicago Sky. She used to be teammates with Angel Reese, who is the star. I wouldn't call her the best player on the Chicago Sky. She's the star of the Chicago Sky. People are gossiping that Van Lith wants nothing to do with playing with Angel Reese again. He transferred after 1 year at LSU. And
did Hailey Van Lith just make one of the worst first impressions in WNBA draft history? After being picked 11th overall by the Chicago Sky, her reaction to reuniting with former LSU teammate Angel Reese was about as thrilled as someone watching Reese hit a basic layup.
My goodness, the young lady out of TCU has been reunited with Angel Reese. Now, you may be like, well, what's the big deal there? Because she already got the hell away from her once. She escaped her once.
And if that wasn't enough to raise eyebrows, she went ahead and threw shade at Caitlyn Clark on live TV. Could this be the start of the most awkward rookie season we've ever seen? And is Hailey Van Lith the one player who might actually unite Reese fans and Clark fans for all the wrong reasons? Let's break it all down. Ready? Let's go.
With the 11th pick in the 2025 WNBA Draft, the Chicago Sky select Hailey Van Lith, Texas Christian University.
The 2025 WNBA Draft was meant to be a night of celebration and fresh starts for every player chosen. But when Hailey Van Lith's name was announced with the 11th pick by the Chicago Sky, the cameras caught something no one expected. While other draftees showed excitement, tears of joy, or proud smiles, Van Lith's face told a completely different story. Her expression, what many fans called pure horror, went viral instantly. That one moment, marked by what looked like genuine dread during her interview, quickly stole the spotlight and became the most talked about moment of the entire draft.
Ready. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, the facial expression did look a little, I guess, uneasy.
The contrast couldn't have been more striking. While other players hugged family members, pumped their fists, and smiled with pride, Van Lith looked like she was living a nightmare in real time. The moment the announcement was made, her eyes widened, her smile faded, and a wave of visible dismay crossed her face. Even though she pulled herself together seconds later, the damage was already done. Viewers had seen the real, unfiltered reaction before the more composed version kicked in. Social media lit up within minutes. One post showing her expression, captioned, "Hailey Van Lith smiling through the pain of returning to toxic hell," racked up over 6 million views. It hit a nerve with fans who instantly picked up on the deeper meaning, because this wasn't just any team selection. It was a forced reunion with Angel Reese, a former teammate with whom Van Lith seemed to share a rocky past.
Okay, good energy with Courtney Vandersloot. You can learn from her. You're paired back with Angel Reese. There's some good energy you can walk into in Chicago, right?
Oh, I love that energy. We're ready.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The awkwardness only grew during her post-draft interview. When asked about reuniting with Reese, she offered a stiff, tight-lipped response. "Oh, I love that energy." It came off about as genuine as one of Reese's overly edited workout videos. That single comment quickly became a magnet for sarcasm, with critics mocking her tone and openly questioning just how real the situation really was.
Oh, I love that energy. You know, she had a chance to drop. Great, Angel and I are familiar with each other from LSU. This is gonna be awesome. Just easy, natural comments to make. It's my understanding that every one of those teammates at LSU hated playing with Angel Reese.
What made the moment even more uncomfortable was the stark contrast in reactions. While Van Lith looked like she was dreading the reunion, Reese appeared all in, posting on social media, "We ain't do it right the first time, let's run it back." Depending on how you read it, the message came off as either completely clueless or deliberately stirring the pot.
Her facial expressions, like you saw them coming in to the video, her facial expressions were like, the F just happened to me.
Draft night turned into a spotlight moment, bringing new attention to what had mostly been whispers about Van Lith's time at LSU. After transferring from Louisville to join the defending champs in 2024, her game took a puzzling dip. The star guard, who once put up nearly 20 points a night, saw her numbers fall to just 11.6 points per game, right alongside Reese.
Look at this face. Look at this face. God bless her. I mean, the pain and anguish. That's not, I'm about to lose it and I'm happy to be drafted and all. No, let's not even go down that road. I think we all know better.
LSU coach Kim Mulkey's once cryptic comments suddenly took on a whole new meaning. When asked about locker room issues during that season, Mulkey had given an ominous response, one that now felt less vague and more revealing in hindsight.
You always have to deal with locker room issues. That's just part of coaching. In 40 years, I can never think of a time where I didn't have to deal with issues. That's what coaches do. Sometimes y'all know about them and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to know more than you're entitled to know. I'm going to protect my players, always. They are more important. It's like a family, Scott. Let me ask you this. If you do some disciplining of your own children, do you think we're entitled to know that?
Add in Reese's mid-season absence and Van Lith's eventual transfer to TCU, an escape many saw as a move to get out of a difficult environment. And suddenly, everything started to make sense. Her reaction on draft night wasn't just about basketball, it was about mental health and the right to choose a better path. As Jason Whitlock pointed out, Van Lith has been open about her struggles. She's even cried on camera while describing how much better things were at TCU. That transfer was her way of rebooting her career and finding peace. So when Chicago picked her, it felt less like a dream come true, and more like a cruel cosmic joke, dragging her back into a situation she'd worked so hard to leave behind.
That does not look like a girl that was excited to be selected where she was selected. And Jason, I think if I'm reading in between the lines, these two did not enjoy playing with each other the first time. So I don't know why either one of them would be excited to run it back. I think could there maybe, Jason, do I detect some potential jealousy maybe here between Angel Reese, who wants to be the central figure in every story that she's a part of, including the little feud, the beef between with her and Caitlyn Clark?
For the Chicago Sky, this situation brings up some tough questions. Have they just drafted a player who already has serious chemistry issues with their supposed franchise cornerstone, Angel Reese? Could the tension between Van Lith and Reese derail team chemistry before they've even played a single game together? These aren't just fan theories anymore. The worry is written all over Van Lith's face, and now the whole world has seen it.
I think Hailey would be reluctant to re-engage with a narcissist who was on a WNBA team last year that instead of trying to win games and compete, you would see them at the end of games, hey, Angel needs to score 4 more points and it'll take her about 7 to 8 to 10 shots to get there. And so they would shut down everything they do and feed the ball to Angel Reese at the end of the game so she could keep her double-double streak alive.
Those team chemistry concerns didn't just show up on draft night. They'd been building for months, hidden in plain sight within the stats. Long before Van Lith's expression told the story, the numbers had already spoken. When a player drops from headliner to afterthought, it's rarely just about performance. The box score becomes a mirror, reflecting everything that went wrong behind the scenes.
I think she's already experienced what's it like to play with Angel Reese, who is a narcissist and selfish, and my understanding, a nightmare for all teammates to deal with.
At Louisville, Van Lith wasn't just talented, she was the heartbeat of the offense. Averaging 19.7 points per game, she ranked among the elite scorers in college basketball, the kind of player coaches build entire game plans around. She was a volume shooter who earned every touch through consistent performance and strong leadership. But once she transferred to LSU, everything shifted. Her scoring didn't just dip, it collapsed, dropping by over 40% to just 11.6 points per game. That kind of dramatic decline wasn't just about learning a new system or fitting in with new teammates. It raised real questions about how she was being used and whether her strengths were being sidelined altogether.
It's over. HVL is feeling sick. I feel terrible for her, I do. The year before at Louisville, almost 20 a game. What does that tell you about her hell that she's got coming? She got away once. She can't escape.
But the raw scoring numbers only scratch the surface. What's even more telling is how Van Lith's opportunities seem to disappear altogether. Game footage from LSU's season reveals a troubling pattern. Van Lith often parked in the corner, isolated from the flow of the offense, just waiting for passes that almost never came. Meanwhile, Angel Reese controlled the ball, the shot attempts, and the offensive boards, dominating possessions while Van Lith faded into the background.
Her recent whining about equal pay, that she's underpaid. You see this, obviously. She's only making $70,000 to jack up brick layups and airball layups somehow in games that no one wants to watch. Oh, poor me, I'm only making $70,000, not mentioning the additional couple, probably million she's making in sponsorship and additional revenues allotted to her from playing in these games.
This wasn't just bad luck or a poor fit. It seemed almost deliberate. Basketball analysts quickly picked up on Van Lith's shrinking role and the clear frustration that followed. Too often, she found herself wide open for shots, only to be overlooked by her teammates. This created a cycle where her contributions grew increasingly irrelevant. The offensive system at LSU wasn't just a tactical issue. It mirrored troubling reports about the Chicago Sky's priorities from the previous season. Just as LSU's plays seemed built to boost Reese's individual stats, reports suggested that Teresa Weatherspoon lost her coaching position with the Sky, in part because the offense became too fixated on keeping Reese's double-double streak alive, rather than focusing on the overall success of the team.
According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord.
Remember this play?
This is the very definition of stat padding. You are down by 22 points, and you've got the Fever's bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, playing against bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, starter, just so that she can get her double-double.
The most for a rookie in a single season. She's going for it. Dribbling off the draw, spins. Bucket is good. 23 double-doubles on the season. Another rookie record for Reese.
Consider the impact on Van Lith's development. A player who once thrived as a primary option found herself relegated to a secondary role that didn't play to her strengths. Her shooting percentages took a hit. Her confidence seemed to fade. And the player who had once commanded the court at Louisville became almost unrecognizable. Instead of growing, she seemed to be stifled, trapped in a system that didn't allow her to flourish.
Jesus. Hailey had her worst season playing with Reese, and it wasn't even close. I just showed you the numbers. Hailey Van Lith, smiling through the pain of returning to toxic hell. There's your boy right there.
The pattern of sidelining teammates to boost Reese's stats raises real concerns about what Van Lith can expect in Chicago. Will she once again be left standing in corners while the offense revolves around Reese? Will the Sky's system evolve to utilize both players' strengths? Or will history simply repeat itself, leaving Van Lith in a supporting role that limits her impact?
Gotta watch Hailey Van Lith stand at the three-point line wide open while that girl is chasing the new rebounds record. That's exactly what's about to happen.
For Chicago's coaching staff, the challenge goes beyond just drawing up plays. It's about managing personalities and creating a culture where multiple talents can thrive together. The situation at LSU makes it clear that this won't happen on its own. It will require a carefully crafted strategy and, likely, some tough conversations about roles and expectations. With this context, Van Lith's draft night reaction shifts from puzzling to entirely understandable. It wasn't just about reuniting with a former teammate. It was about stepping back into a situation that had previously derailed her basketball journey. The collapse in her production at LSU didn't just impact her draft position. It threatened the very foundation of her identity as a player.
I feel terrible for her, I do. She cut the cancer out and it came right back.
Just when Van Lith thought things couldn't get more complicated, she unintentionally sparked a rivalry with women's basketball's brightest star, Caitlyn Clark. And it didn't happen on the court. It unfolded during what should have been a simple, harmless draft night interview.
Start bench cut, Diana Taurasi, Sabrina Ionescu, and Caitlyn Clark.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
You're gonna get me in trouble and I'm only a rookie.
Oh, this seems wrong.
You're not gonna catch me because they are all great and I'm not gonna answer that question. They are all amazing.
During the 2025 WNBA Draft festivities, Van Lith was asked what seemed like a simple question, a standard start, bench, cut scenario featuring Diana Taurasi, Sabrina Ionescu, and Caitlyn Clark. Her response, however, would spark far more than just a casual conversation.
Give flowers to the legend. We're going to start Diana Taurasi. I'm going to bench Sabrina and cut Caitlyn.
Those final two words, cut Caitlyn, instantly turned what should have been a forgettable orange carpet moment into one of the most consequential statements of Van Lith's young career.
But Hailey Van Lith, oh, you gave a bad answer.
Yikes. Right off the bat, she's feeling the fire from Caitlyn Clark fans. Now, she's already felt some fire from Caitlyn Clark in the past. To be honest with you, during some LSU Iowa game.
Social media exploded instantly. Fans who had already been dissecting Van Lith's body language during her draft moment now had clear words to fuel their criticism. The basketball world was stunned. Here was an unproven rookie intentionally placing a target on her back by dismissing the league's fastest rising star. What made this decision even more puzzling was that other draftees, when faced with the same question, either tactfully avoided making a choice or made sure not to cut Clark, acknowledging both her talent and the drama that would inevitably follow if they did.
I don't want to play. They're all starting. I'll sit on the bench.
I'm going to start Caitlyn. I'm going to bench Sabrina. And I'm going to cut Diana. Even though that's the GOAT, I still got to do what I got to do. And yeah.
I would start Diana Taurasi. I would bench Caitlyn Clark, and I would cut Sab. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start DT, bench Caitlyn, and I'm going to bench Sabrina. I'm not cutting anybody.
Start Diana, bench Caitlyn, and cut Sabrina. Sorry.
I can cut Diana Taurasi since she's retired, and then I'm going to start Caitlyn Clark and bench Sabrina.
Can I start all of them? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start all of them.
But to truly understand why this comment stung so much, you need to know the history between these two players. This wasn't just a random rookie taking a swipe at an established star. It was personal. Clark and Van Lith had clashed in consecutive NCAA tournaments, with Clark's Iowa teams eliminating Van Lith's squads both times in the Elite Eight. And these weren't just wins. They were dominant performances that left a lasting mark.
Hailey Van Lith, you are very lucky you are going to be sitting on the bench for the Chicago Sky this year, because Caitlyn Clark is going to probably do unspeakable things to your team the first time he's played this season.
In 2023, Clark put on an unforgettable performance, dropping 41 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists against Van Lith's Louisville squad, including a particularly memorable step-back three right in Van Lith's face. Fast forward to 2024, and the nightmare didn't let up. Clark delivered another 41-point masterpiece against LSU, frequently scoring while being guarded by Van Lith, cementing her dominance once again.
Look at Caitlyn Clark. That's really good. That's really good. I mean, the look of pain on her face. Jesus again. Yeah.
Given the history, Van Lith's decision to cut Clark feels less like an innocent game answer and more like an attempt to reclaim some dignity after being repeatedly outplayed on college basketball's biggest stage. What might have seemed like a brief moment of satisfaction has now created an entirely avoidable pressure cooker for Van Lith's rookie season, setting the stage for a storyline she never asked for.
I mean, honestly, it's clear to start Clark. Shake my head. HVL's such a hater. It's going to be bad.
Basketball analysts have compared Van Lith's move to a rookie insulting the CEO on their first day, an unnecessary complication before playing a single professional minute. While some might argue this shows competitive fire, the reality is that Clark already had every competitive advantage: more talent, more popularity, more success. Now, thanks to this comment, she also has bulletin board material to fuel her motivation.
Oh, you gave a bad answer. Especially consider the fact you're playing the Fever Game 1. And I hope Caitlyn Clark, this is a person who has played the last two times she played Caitlyn Clark. I'm not joking when I say this. Caitlyn Clark put 40 on her team's head. Put 40 on her head directly once.
The May 17th matchup between Chicago and Indiana, which could have been just another early season game, has now become a must-watch event. Every time Clark and Van Lith share the court, it'll be under a microscope. Every basket Clark scores against Van Lith will be clipped, shared, and turned into memes. The pressure will be entirely one-sided. Clark has nothing to prove, while Van Lith now faces the weight of expectations she's set for herself. This growing trend of WNBA players taking shots at Clark has become hard to ignore. Whether it's driven by genuine competitive spirit or discomfort with the spotlight she commands, these comments always seem to backfire, only boosting Clark's popularity and creating headaches for those who make them.
Well, Caitlyn Clark, if you ever set foot on the floor to guard Caitlyn Clark, you better be pissed that your team drafted Sivka instead of Sanaya Rivers to guard Caitlyn Clark. Because what Caitlyn Clark is going to do to your team on May the 16th or 17th, whenever the game is going to violate the Geneva Convention.
For Van Lith, the stakes couldn't be higher. After already experiencing a dramatic drop in her stats during her final college season, she now enters a professional environment where she'll reunite with a teammate tied to that decline. At the same time, she's provoked the league's most popular player. For a rookie trying to make a name for herself, it's hard to imagine a more challenging set of circumstances.
Hailey, you don't want to give her more motivation. We saw what she did against Diana Taurasi. We saw what she did to the Mercury.
Talk about a powder keg ready to explode. The May 17th showdown between the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever has gone from a regular season game to a must-see TV event. What was already a highly anticipated matchup featuring Caitlyn Clark has gained even more drama thanks to Van Lith's cut comment. Basketball fans aren't just marking their calendars for the talent on display. They're waiting to see if Clark delivers a statement performance against the rookie who disrespected her. The college rivalry history between these two only adds more fuel to what promises to be one of the most watched regular season games in recent WNBA history. If you're excited to see Caitlyn Clark back on the court, drop CC in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.